Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live episode of Car Lot Confessions. I am your host, Frank Fanzoni. So excited for it to be Tuesday again. I absolutely love this show. Welcome, guys. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in again to another live episode. It is Tuesday, September 24th. It is going to be a great show tonight. We have a lot of wonderful content to cover. Hopefully you guys had a chance to read the article that was posted earlier today. And so, yeah, and we're going to be talking about that. We got the poll question coming up, grinds my gears, all these wonderful things we do here on Car Lot Confessions. But welcome to the show, guys. It is Tuesday, and I am excited to be here. If you guys are too, please go ahead. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and share this video real quick if you could. Let's see if we can get a couple new viewers on. I'd greatly appreciate it. Best way to do that is for you guys to go ahead and share this video right now so we can tell everybody that we're watching Car Lot Confessions, and I'd greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, a like, and a share. And, of course, we'll continue to grow this Car Lot Confessions community. A couple of housekeeping things to get out of the way. T-shirts, again, my dad joke shirt again tonight. If you guys have a shirt that you'd like to see on a live taping of Car Lot Confessions, please send me a private message and let me know. We can go ahead and work something out. But it is a great way for free advertising for you, your company, or somebody you know. And, of course, we're all here about spreading a positive message. So if it's just a positive T-shirt, that would be something great as well. Something I'd like to see have happen here for Car Lot Confessions. It's a great opportunity for you and for the show. So if you'd like to do that, just let me know. Send me a private message, of course, and we will do that, and I will do a shirt on a live taping for you. All right, so that's that. Also, again, liking and sharing would be greatly appreciated. I'd appreciate that. We'll wait for a couple more people to jump on here, of course, and see if we can get a few more people on before we get started. Hello, Julie. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I believe Julie has her notifications on. So thank you so much. So it's going to be a great show tonight. Hopefully you had a chance to read the article. It was a good article. Starting a little early tonight, seeing if we can catch a few more people than we typically do, see if they'll have a few more people jump on. Thank you so much for sharing. Kara Ray, thank you for joining the show. Come on, and thanks for being here. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get started. Talk about the poll from last week. The poll last week was a great one. We got actually 15 votes last week. I was pretty happy about that. That's a few more than we usually get. So it looks like you guys sharing that poll is actually going to be helping things out. Poll question, though, from last week, we put, do you still read the newspaper or use newspaper ads? 23% said yes. 77% said no. Probably like me, I used it as a fire starter. But I thought it was a pretty good poll question, actually, because we still get the paper at the house and all that good stuff. We don't really utilize it too much. It goes into a bin. I use it to start the burn barrel, that kind of stuff. So I was just curious how many people actually use the newspaper there. Hello, John. Hello, Justin. Welcome. I am a little bit early tonight. I did jump on just a few minutes early, see if we can catch a few more people. If you guys would do me a huge favor and go ahead and share this video real quick. Let's see if we can get a couple new people on. That would be greatly appreciated. Justin, thanks so much for being here. So glad you could be here tonight. Same with you, John, Julie, Kara. Thank you so much, guys, for jumping on. Your guys' notifications clearly are on, and I appreciate that. But if you don't have your notifications on and you're viewing this video, make sure you guys turn them on so you know every time Car Lot Confessions goes live. All right, guys, we're talking about the poll question from this past week. It was a good one. The newspapers, if you guys read them or use them, again, 77% said no, 23% said yes. So that was a pretty good one. We had 15 responses, so I felt like that was a great turnout. So fantastic. Thank you, guys. Again, go ahead and share this video. I'd appreciate it. All right, let's get into this week's poll question. I just posted it just a little bit ago. I figured this one would ring home a little bit. We talked about possibly your last meal. You had a choice between pizza and tacos. What would you choose? That was an easy one for me, although I do love both very much. My choice is always tacos, but I wanted to see how bad tacos can beat out pizza, to be honest with you, because I know a lot of people enjoy both. Eric, thank you, and welcome to the show. Eric, thank you for being here. I believe you're a first-time watcher. Thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoy the show. We got a lot of great content coming your way tonight on the show of Car Lot Confessions. We're going to be getting into all of that here very shortly. Right now, we're talking about the poll question of the night. Guys, make sure you guys go check that out. Last meal, pizza or tacos? I chose tacos. I am definitely a taco guy. I love burritos. I love tacos. I love Mexican food. So that beat out taco or pizza for sure. Go ahead and do that poll for me, guys. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to get into the newest segment of one I really enjoy called Grinds My Gears. Here we go, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this one too. Let's talk about what grinds my gears this week. Anybody who's a sports fan will hopefully be on the same page here with me. Rich boy athletes that think they can do just about whatever they want and say whatever they want without any repercussions, a.k.a. Antonio Brown, the former Steeler, former Patriot player, is definitely on blast tonight on Grinds My Gears. Man, come on now. Seriously, I'm hoping other people here have an opinion about it. Kyle, thank you for being here. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here, guys, and jumping on. I greatly appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up and a share. I'd greatly appreciate that. We're in the process of Grinds My Gears right now. Antonio Brown is on the block for Grinds My Gears. Who has that kind of money and time and energy to express those types of feelings? Now, let's talk about this for a second in regards to our specific employers. If I were to complain about my employer and put them on blast like Antonio Brown did on Twitter, or any other athlete that likes to complain about their employer, how would you not expect to not get fired, first of all, or cause issues or rifts? First of all, you think you're so rich and so good that you don't have to play the game of football. That sounds great, but isn't what football made you rich to begin with? Why are you not grateful for the path that you have traveled instead of blowing it up and saying, you know what, I don't need you, I don't need the NFL, I don't need this, I'm rich, I'm great, so whatever. Are you serious right now? If it wasn't for NFL money football, you wouldn't be in the position you are right now. So, do you really think you're in the right place of saying anything in regards to derogatory or negatory towards the NFL? Not that I don't have my own issues with the NFL. I do, and we'll get into that on another topic. But seriously, though, why do athletes who, again, make millions of dollars to play a game get any right to put anything on blast about the career in which they've built for themselves? If it wasn't for the NFL, you wouldn't have that money. So, that's what's grinding my gears this week. I'm not too sure. Let me know what you guys think about grinds my gears and about that as well. You guys got to have some insight on the Antonio Brown situation here. First of all, the whole situation was pretty shady between leaving one team, being picked up by another, having a signing bonus, all this huge stuff. Go to find out you got some legal issues and you can't stick around to do media like you're supposed to after your first game. And then you get canned and you're upset about that? Have you taken a look in the mirror? Let me know what you guys think about Grinds My Gears tonight in that episode or that area in regards to Antonio Brown and the NFL. It is definitely something that I'm frustrated about. You know, these people, these teams, these teammates, these players, they get paid millions of dollars. They don't like where they're at. I'm on a bad team. I want to go somewhere else. I don't always like my job. I got to go apply somewhere else and get hired. Why isn't that the case in football and sports? Right? I don't know. Seriously, though, I honestly think that it's a serious problem. These rich crybabies in regards to being able to be on a team, they just want to all be on great teams. Well, isn't your job to help make that team great? I know that's my job at work, is to make sure that my job and the people I work for are successful as well. Rich crybaby NFL players. On Grinds My Gears, guys. You have anything you want to add in regards to Grinds My Gears and about that, let me know. I greatly appreciate it. I know everybody should have some sort of opinion in regards to this, but it's definitely something that's been grinding my gears this week. Still trying to figure this one out with them. But seriously, stop crying, stop whining. You have millions of dollars because of the NFL, and now you're going to boycott the NFL. Buddy, I think they should take all their money back and say, you know what, that's fine. You don't have to play for us anymore, but every dollar we ever gave you, you should give back to us, because you may have been great on the football field and you may be a really great receiver, but you're not a great teammate. You're not a great supporter of the company in which you are working for. And I don't think you have any appreciation of what's been laid out before you and what's there. That's just my opinion. That's my grinds my gears, guys. All right. So let me know what you guys think about that and about my grinds my gears tonight, though. But that's definitely the issue that I have this week. All righty, let's keep the show moving. Let's get into the main topic of the night, the In the News. In the news tonight, guys. It was an actually interesting article. I had a hard time kind of finding one that I wanted to pick for this week. Just because we've, there's a lot of great major stories going on. I try to stay away from the political stuff for a couple of reasons. And so this week we chose something that I saw that I thought was very interesting and caught my eye. New AI cameras catching texting drivers behind the wheel. So I thought I'd do a little bit of research in regards to this and kind of see what the issue is, because I'm not going to lie. I have been known to text and drive myself. So we'll get into that, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But hopefully you guys got a chance to read the article. I thought it was a pretty decent article. The Australian state of New South Wales is rolling out a network of 45 cameras testing 45 cameras in regards to seeing people and driving. What they're doing is they're testing, and if you're caught, when they did test it, 100,000 out of 8.5 million vehicles were scanned with these cameras, and they caught people texting. They saw something, and the cameras are supposed to, so the whole deal of the cameras is they're supposed to pick up something in your hand while you're driving, right? So this is how they did their research. They are now implementing these cameras, and they are going to start fining people $232 for having their phone in their hand while they drive. Now, the picture that was on the article I thought was pretty interesting. The person behind the wheel was texting. The passenger was steering the car. I thought that was very interesting. So I guess they have a legitimate reason for it, and I know it's probably, I'm not sure if it's more of an issue there or not, but it's definitely something we need to talk about and think about. It is definitely something we don't discuss, or that is in the limelight very often, is the facts about texting and driving at the same time. So there's a reason why this is coming out, and there's a reason why the Australian state of New South Wales is rolling these out. So during this, I want to hear what you guys think about it. Let me know if you guys read the article and stuff. So here's a couple of quick facts, real quick. I got my facts from driversalert.com is one place I also picked up facts, along with the NHTSA, which is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, is where I picked up most of my facts out of for tonight, just so you guys know, so you can fact check me if you like. But people who are texting and driving are 6 times more likely to get into an accident than those who drive while they're intoxicated. Well, that's kind of a big number. I'm like, what? I couldn't believe it. Seriously, I couldn't believe it. 6 times more likely to get into an accident while texting and driving than being intoxicated. So I found this fact. Hopefully you guys can fact check that. Let me know what you guys think. But that's a lot. To me, that's insane. That's everybody always talks about drinking and driving intoxicated and how it's horrible, and you hear about all those accidents, but texting and driving 6 times more likely to get into an accident than those who are intoxicated. To me, that's kind of crazy, but I mean, it makes sense. I know I've let my guard down while I drove, that's for sure. Hello, Diane. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoy the show tonight. We got a great show. The article was posted on the Car Lot Confession site, so hopefully you had a chance to read it. If not, I'd love to hear you weigh in either way. We're talking about texting while driving, and they're actually putting up AI cameras now to catch drivers behind the wheel texting and driving. The average amount of time a driver takes to type out a text message is actually 5 seconds. So that's one of the facts that I found, and I thought that was interesting. 5 seconds, huh, is how much that they take. All right. I don't know. I sometimes mine are quicker. I don't know. They're trying to find ways to make texting faster, but the average is about 5 seconds. So if 5 seconds is the average, if you're driving, according to the facts that I found, if you're driving 55 miles per hour and you look down for 5 seconds, you've actually driven the length of a football field, which is 100 yards, in the 5 seconds if you're driving 55 miles an hour. Okay, sounds about right, but you weren't looking that 5 seconds, right? Just to put it out there real quick, I have a little bit of a mixed bag on this, but the facts don't lie here from what I understand. The last thing, the one that I found, one of the most staggering fact that I found about this this subject actually was this one is 11 teenagers die every single day due to texting and driving. Now I have teenagers that are my kids. They are going to be driving at some point soon, a couple of years, but they are going to be driving. I know they're very much into their phones and very much into talking to their friends, and I get that. I have a niece who's 16 who's recently started driving on her own. And after reading that statistic, that's what made me think, okay, this is something we actually need to talk about. 11 teenagers die every day due to texting and driving. If you have a teenager, let me know if this is something that concerns you as well, or if you have teenagers in your family that are close to driving or about to drive or just started driving as well. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up or a like in there so I can see that you guys can relate a little bit. But to me, this scares me. 11 every single day. That's a lot. That is a lot of teenagers, if you think about it, on a daily basis that are texting and driving and perishing because of it. They say teenagers are 400% more likely to get into an accident from texting and driving. Well, of course, because teenagers don't have the time spent and the experience of driving long term to help adjust with reaction times and anticipation in regards to driving, right? So they have a 400% more likely to get into an accident if they are texting and driving. That makes sense. That's legit. That also goes along with the fact that 11 teenagers every day do die due to texting and driving. This is kind of on blast. I think this is something we definitely need to be talking about and thinking about. More and more drivers on the road every single day. What do you guys think about this? Let me know. According to the National Safety Council, cell phone use while driving leads to 6 million accidents per year. That's another fact for you. 6 million accidents per year are due to cell phone usage while driving. These things have turned out to be a really great asset, really great thing to have, instant information, constant contact, all that wonderful stuff. But have they put our lives at risk? They definitely put our teenager lives at risk, our newest drivers. That's important. That's something to think about. As parents, should we be taking their cell phones away while they drive? Are we lessening their chances of getting into an accident by 400%? According to these facts, we would be. A University of Utah study reported that a teen driver who's using a cell phone has the same reaction time as a 70-year-old driver who isn't using a cell phone. So your teenager drives like an old person who can't see or shouldn't be driving if they have a cell phone. That's what I gathered from that. I know that a lot of people that watch this show and that are on the Car Lot Confessions community have teenagers or have kids that are either driving or about to be driving or could be driving soon or have been driving. And this is why I wanted to talk about this subject this week and talk about it, because it is a very important topic that never really comes up. 16-year-old, I remember when I was 16, I got in the car. We didn't have these kinds of distractions, but I had my CD player. I had my case of CDs and trying to put them in the radio and that kind of stuff. I had friends driving with me. I know there's higher regulations these days now in regards to teens and being able to drive and, you know, when they're able to drive, who's supposed to drive with them, who can, who can't, all that kind of stuff. Let me know what you guys think, though. But it is kind of a thing that I think we need to bring back to the forefront and in the limelight a little bit more than we do because it kind of goes off to the side. And when that many teenagers are dying every day, and I know 11 may not sound like a major deal, but we're here to protect our kids. That's something we should be talking about. Carol, new Apple phones won't let you use them when it is thinks you are driving. They lock themselves down. That's fantastic. And I know I actually commend any cell phone provider or company that is getting on board with the safety of our children without being regulated to do so. Clearly, this is an issue, and I think it's great that cell phone companies, providers are getting into this area where it is, they're making options for this so that way it is more safe for teenagers that doesn't allow them to even use it. I know technology these days in cars have started with text messaging and reading them out loud so you're not grabbing your phone, all that kind of stuff, but we need to get there faster, I think. I think with the technology constantly increasing and getting bigger and being utilized more on a day-to-day basis, this information right at our fingertips, that we're not really thinking about what's important at that very moment all the time. We're not as focused as we used to be. And I think that is what it really comes down to, is having to teach our teenagers who are driving, and even anybody these days, because I know there's a lot of adults that use their phone while they drive as well. Again, I've been guilty of that. That use their phones while driving, and that there is a lot of risk that comes with it. I want to know what you guys think. Have any of you even been, and please feel free to admit, I would as well, but have you been in an accident due to using your cell phone? There's a good question. Have you seen that you have been distracted? Have you had issues with distraction on your cell phone while driving? Please feel free to share your thoughts and ideas in regards to that. I'd appreciate that. Renee weighs in. My Apple phone does that too, but I was able to override it. That's the thing. There is a way to override it. And I mean, it's good because sometimes you're a passenger and you don't need your phone you could use your phone while you're a passenger. So you are able to override it, because right now the technology basically it registers the miles per hour, how fast you're traveling, and then that's when it's indicating that you're driving. So there's ways that it's doing that. We need to maybe find some new stuff. John, something about okay, I'm in something chat. I'm glad you're back, John. Thank you so much. Sorry, guys. So let me know what you guys think. Here's the question of the night, though. I'm going to bring this one up a little early, so if you guys are ready, I want to hear you guys. No crickets in the chat tonight, okay? Thank you so much for everybody who's been weighing in so far. But let's get to the question of the night. We'll get to it a little early because I want you guys to have some time to actually be able to answer tonight. Are you guilty of using your cell phone while you drive? And what example are we setting if we do that? Are we able to preach not to use your cell phones if we're doing it? And what do you think about these cameras? If this is something that they utilized here in the United States, is this something you would support, or something that you would maybe try to deny as a vote, or whatever the case may be, about these types of cameras being put in and monitoring us while we drive? So I want to hear what your guys' opinion is about that. Let me know, because I would like to hear, because I have a little mixed feelings about this as well, and I want to make sure that we get everybody's opinion. I want somebody to sway me tonight if you can. So I want to hear you guys tonight, so make sure you guys do it. I'm going to applaud you now for everybody who's already been in the chat and been talking. I really do appreciate it. And welcome everybody to the show who's been here. Thank you so much. I really am so glad you guys are here. I want to hear what you guys think about this, though, because I think it is a major topic that we should be thinking about and talking about. It's a great topic for Car Lot Confessions, I think, because it is on the way we bring some positive change to the world and being more knowledgeable and understanding about the dangers that are out there, and for us to be able to help make that change come in. So that's the other part I want to put out there as well. Johanna, thank you so much for coming, and welcome to the show. Hopefully you enjoy it. Please feel free to comment in the chat. I can read your comments, and please come be part of the show. All right, so again, real quick question of the night. I want to hear you guys. I want you to sway me a little bit. Kind of a 2-3 part question if you want. but are you guilty of using your cell phone while you drive? And what example are we setting if we actually are using our cell phones? And how would you feel if the United States decided to put cameras in that monitored us while we drove and fined us or sent us tickets if they caught us using our cell phones? Would that make you use your cell phone less while you drove? So I want to put that out there. Let's go to chat. It says, hi, I think a bunch of us were watching on a private watch, which could have been happening. If you guys were private, I don't know why. Let's see. Watch party with Justin Wells. Justin, thank you for starting a watch party, man. I appreciate that, though. And I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. What else? John says they already monitor us. They probably do. But there is right now, as far as I know, in the state of Michigan, in the United States, there's laws about texting and driving, but they can't monitor you per se through cameras. They actually have to witness you doing it on your phone while you're driving for probable cause of ticketing, from what I understand. So to me, that's just another implementation, but do you guys support it? Because I don't know if I do. I have a hard enough time. I already feel like the police have enough reasons to pull us over, but should we be reasonable enough adults to realize this is illegal, we shouldn't be doing it, right? Very, very mixed bag here. Just so we're clear, since 2010, over 660,000 drivers are using cell phones while driving at any given moment in the United States. 660,000 drivers at any given moment are using cell phones in the United States while driving. That is a lot of drivers using cell phones. And we know the risks of using these cell phones, yet we still do it. Well, hey, Joanna, thank you for letting me know. Copy those comments, put them in here so I can see them, because I would definitely love to see what you put in there. Please, I don't want you to be confused. I'm so glad that you're on now, so thank you for being here. I would love to read the comments that you posted. Renee chimes in, we have a device that will go in Mac's car that will alert us if she uses her phone while driving. Hey, if you could do me a huge favor, post a link in the chat of whatever that device is, because I'd love to see it. I can't say that I'm knowledgeable about that, but if that's really the case, I think that's fantastic. So whatever that device is, please post a link in the chat, because these are things that we definitely need to be aware of. Joanna says, everyone should use speech to text, which I agree. It works great. They've definitely been upgrading that technology. Also, I am completely counting on the facts that my kids will have self-driving cars. You know, me too, but we can't guarantee that just yet. I know they're working on it. We all love the Tesla, but we definitely have to think about that, and that's definitely an issue. So self-driving cars is definitely a way to get around that, in a sense. I feel like there's never going to be that perfect self-driving car. I could be wrong, but you know, I personally like my hands on the wheel. I'm a control guy. Anyways, with that being said, are you guys guilty? I want to hear you guys answer some of the question there in regards to it. Are you guilty of driving and using your cell phone? And if so, is that us setting a bad example? Some of us are more experienced drivers. I can't say that that gives us an excuse to be able to use our cell phones. But when 660,000 drivers at any given moment are using their cell phones, no wonder the fatality rate in regards to people getting text messages and using cell phones in cars is so high. In fact, 3,166 lives in 2017 were claimed due to distracted driving and using cell phones. 3,166 people passed away in 2017 alone from texting and driving. That's a lot. That is a lot of people all trying to get that message out. Now, we started to see the commercials on TV. We started to see some of that going on. And I think that's good, and it's bringing awareness. But is it stopping us from using our cell phones in cars? That's why I think these cameras is why they're starting to be implemented. Thank you for Diane for admitting you have been guilty. I've been guilty as well. And I consider myself a pretty confident driver. I consider myself good behind the wheel. I consider myself a very attentive driver. Even if I am text messaging, I feel like I can multitask. But the truth is, I need to be honest with myself and realize that that might necessarily always be the case. As confident as I think I am, it only takes one split second, right? For anybody who's ever been into an accident, I'm pretty sure you can vouch for that. Most people are guilty. Thank you, John. Yes, I think we are all guilty. Most of us are. And that's good it's good to admit that at least. What do you guys think about these cameras? Personally, I think about these cameras. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. I mean, policing things is a way to keep people from doing things, right? Isn't that the key? Isn't that the whole point of being of having police, is to stop you from speeding or stop you from committing crimes, and having punishments for things is to stop us from doing things. That's what these cameras are for, right? A $232 fine is kind of a hefty fine for using your cell phone and being caught on camera doing so. You know, police can't necessarily monitor that, I guess, from their vehicles or as they're driving as well. But I would assume that our police officers are probably just as much distracted as we are on their computers or on their cell phones or on their radios as well. Distracted driving is definitely a big deal. I mean, think about it. 55 miles per hour at 5 seconds distraction, you've traveled the length of a football field. And I think time and distance is not aware to us as people as we're driving, and the repercussions. Thank goodness safety ratings on vehicles have gone up, that's for sure, but the number of people that are dying due to texting and driving is insane to me. And we need to think about our teenagers who, again, have a 400% more likely to get into an accident due to texting and driving. That's a lot. That's a ton. Let's see what chat has to say. Johanna comes in. I'm guilty. I use speech to text when texting. But sometimes I still need to change music or maps or start a Marco Polo video. The screen is in my van, doesn't always connect to my phone. So I have to, you have to look down. You have to look at it. I get that. Here's the question I'm going to pose. Is what you're doing important enough to risk your life in the lives that you have in your car? I am 100% guilty. So I want to make sure I put that out there for everybody to say I'm 100% guilty with this myself. And after reading this article and talking about, and thinking about it and looking at the camera idea, I'm going to answer the question that I put out there for you guys. I want to hear your guys' answers as well. But I think it would actually be a good thing to help police some of this. Now, I know some of the speed trap areas and where I travel, and I make sure to do the speed limit in those areas, right? And I do that because I don't want to get caught. I don't want to get a ticket. I don't have the money for a ticket right now, all that kind of stuff. I could spend that money on something else. So might as well just obey the law, do the speed limit, yada, 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 right? It's the kind of the same concept with these cameras and these AI cameras looking to see if you're texting and driving. Now, one of the rules with that, I would think, is they would need to have clear-cut evidence that that's what you were doing. But distracting driving is distracted driving. That's like intoxicated driving. So I think I'd almost be for it. To put it out there, sorry guys, excuse me. To put it out there, I think I am for these cameras if they were to come to the U.S. I'd have to do a little more research, a little more thought process. But as of right now, drop the question on me. I need to set a better example by not texting and driving, and I think the policing of it would actually help keep people from doing it. Teenagers are young. They are not as experienced. Even us as adults, as experienced drivers, it only takes one split second for an accident to happen, and everything changes. Lives are lost. Diane weighs in. Thank you, Diane, for weighing in. I feel where I live, there's very little traffic. I know that it is a stupid way of thinking. Not necessarily a stupid way of thinking. A different way of thinking about it is less traffic. Now, the risk of you hurting somebody else is lower due to the little or the less amount of traffic. But the risk of you hurting yourself and whoever may be in the car with you is still just as high. And the truth is, I believe your value of life and the life of the value on your life is just the same as anybody else's, and it should be. We should be looking at our own lives and valuing our own lives as well. So just because there's less traffic, which I understand your point, which I think is a great point that you make, your life is just as important. So my thought on that. It does the same thing. Same here in Montana. Traffic here not enough demand it, which is true. Okay, so the cameras may not work, but the thought of your life being of value is something, again, we need to think about and talk about. And that I think that's what I'm hoping is part of this article is going to do, is it would help raise, the view and the thought and the value of your own lives and what it is our own actions are doing, because part of being the change is being honest with ourselves about our own actions and what we're doing. Kyle weighs in, I'm guilty. While technology has come a long way, I'm curious on how it picks up a cell phone over a piece of paper or Pop-Tart, which I'm glad you said Pop-Tart. I love Pop-Tarts. Something of a similar size and shape. That's a really great point. Let's think about the probability of it being one of those things over a cell phone these days, because people have cell phones all the time, right? So that's a great point that you make, though. I think it would have to be clear-cut evidence of what it is. Justin says, it's not just a teenage thing. I see too many adults doing it as well. But shooting photos is just wrong. I feel it's wrong. Okay, so you're not for the cameras. I totally understand that. That makes sense. I guess, that's where I'm conflicted as well, a little bit on the invasion of privacy, I guess it is. Constantly we're under camera, we're on view, we got satellites that can see us. Anybody who wants to talk about that, that might be another show. But there's constantly cameras in regards to road cameras and building cameras and security cameras and car lot confession cameras. We're always on camera. There's cameras on our laptops, cameras on our phones, cameras everywhere. I agree. Invasion of privacy is definitely something that I agree with you with on Justin in regards to it. How else could we police it, or could they police it then without necessarily using cameras? Let's think about that as an idea. If you have an idea for that, let me know. How is texting any different than eating while driving, John says. And I think that's actually also a great point. Anything that you're doing while your hands are on the wheel, and you should be focusing and paying attention to the traffic, any distraction from driving can cause an accident. I totally agree with you 100%. I've seen people eating McDonald's and Taco Bell and McRibs and whatever else you want to throw out there while driving with their knees and eating, and I dropped something on my shirt, and that's there too. 100%. Distracted driving is definitely is an issue. Thank you for bringing that up, John. That's a great point. Kyle weighs in, Washington, it's not. You will now get a fine for distracted driving for eating and driving. I did not know that, but I think that's fantastic. I think there needs to be a blanket rule in regards to distracted driving in general. If you are distracted while driving and witnessed by law enforcement, that's viable right to pull you over and issue a ticket. Now, is that too much power in the police's hands? Let me know. You can be just as distracted. Start taking freedoms away. Where does it stop? That's the conflict here, John, and thank you for pointing that out. That is the conflict here. At what point, this article that I found was so interesting, and the facts that I have definitely show that there is an issue, and it's definitely a big deal. Where's the line at in regards to enforcement, invasion of privacy, and the value of our lives and lives of us as citizens, and for each other and all of that, and being the change? At what point does law enforcement and other alternatives need to be put in place to protect us from ourselves, from not making conscious decisions of not being distracted while we drive? Does that make sense? You guys, is that where it's kind of boiling down to? Let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and throw a thumbs up in the chat or hit a like button or whatever if you guys think this is a good topic to talk about, because I think it's definitely an in-depth topic to talk about, because it really does kind of break down where is the value and at what point do we have to put it in law enforcement hands because we can't do it in our own, right? Thanks so much, guys, for the likes, and I appreciate that. I definitely see those thumbs up coming through. It's definitely a big deal. So if you guys want to continue in regards to the conversation in regards to the question of the night, I'll reiterate that again real quick. Are you guilty of using the cell phone while you drive? What example are you setting? And would you be supportive of cameras being implemented in the United States to monitor us as driving and texting and while driving and issue tickets if we are caught? Do you think that would affect you driving and texting at the same time? And that's really what I should have probably put a full question. Would it affect your driving and texting or using your cell phone while driving if you know you were going to be monitored doing so and can receive a fine while doing it? I'd probably put my phone down knowing I don't want to spend that kind of money on sending a text message. That's a very expensive text message. Would it stop you if you knew that you could get caught? It's a great question. Let me know what you guys think about that. Thank you so much, everybody. Super high applause. Great job tonight. I definitely didn't have too many crickets in the chat tonight, which was really great. So thank you so much. Johanna, real quick, last comment in regards to what she was saying. After high school, I used to eat a Subway sandwich and put on makeup while driving to my job at Rad Robin with a stick shift. I, too, owned a stick shift. I also thought I got very talented at driving a stick, being able to eat, drink. Back in the day when I smoke a cigarette, and multitask, all while driving a stick shift, you definitely, there is some talent there, and I commend you on that. So thank you so much. Diane weighs in, yes, it would stop you from doing it, which is good. Law enforcement does have the right, she says, to pull people over for distracted driving. I, too, agree with that. I do think that is what they are out there for. It is about protection. They are trying to protect other drivers and protect you. So I do agree that law enforcement does have the right to pull you over for distracted driving. And I, too, think that if cameras were implemented, I would probably put my phone down more as well. Again, that's an expensive text message. I don't want to get caught doing that. I don't want to spend that kind of money sending a text message. And the truth is, 90% of the text messages I probably send aren't life or death. Probably 99% of them aren't life or death. And it's really could probably wait. Ultimately, that's kind of the case. So, yeah. So thank you, guys. Thank you so much for all of your comments. Please continue to keep the chat going if you like in there. And discussion going if you like, that's totally fine. We always can keep the conversation going on our Facebook page as well. Continue to add your comments. I greatly appreciate it. So so thank you so much, guys. Yes, yes. So great job out there. All right, so let's move on with our show tonight. I want to stay on task here. Let's move on to our positive personal recap for the week. This is one of the sections that I really love. It is, I give you a little feedback about my life and how the week is gone. So that's, we're at that part of at the show. Sorry, guys. Little flabbered tonight, I guess. I don't know. So positive personal recap. Again, it's been a very busy week. I want to, with sports, the boys played a great football game on Saturday. We've had cross country and running with my daughter. But I want to stop for a moment and send out some love to my father-in-law and to my wife's side of the family. Real quick, not to bring things down, but we lost someone on the side of the family this past weekend. And not to bring up the topic, but it was actually had to do a bit with vaping, which we've talked about on the show before. But just right now, I just want to do a quick thing and just ask for your guys' thoughts and prayers for the family during this tough time. That we did lose somebody on my wife's side of the family. And, it's never easy no matter when, where, how, or who it is. And so I just ask for you guys' thoughts and prayers a little bit. and send it out there. Just to send some positive vibes towards this side for a little while, for the time being, as we get through this difficult time. So I just want to throw that out there real quick. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So my positive quote for the night kind of goes along with all of that. What we have once enjoyed deeply, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us. Helen Keller. That's my positive quote for the night. I'm going to read it again, and it really does kind of resonate with what's going on right now in my life and the lives of people in my family. What we have once enjoyed deeply, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us. Helen Keller said that. I think it's a pretty great quote, especially with what's been going on. And basically what that means to me is that, if we enjoyed it, we can never unenjoy it, and we'll never lose that as long as we hang on to that joy. And everything that we've ever loved deeply will always become a part of us. It becomes a part of who we are. It becomes a part of what we understand and believe and think about, and it really does become a part of us. So Helen Keller said it. It was a great quote. I think it really resonated. So let me know what you guys think. I thought it was a pretty good quote. Hopefully it resonates with you. If it does, please feel free to put it in the chat. Or again, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, hit a like button or the heart button there if you guys really like that quote. But I think it does, and it can resonate with a lot of different things right now, but it definitely stood out to me for this week and everything we have going on in our family. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys. We're going to continue to move on to the next segment, which I love the most. It is shout-out time in regards to Carlock Confessions. We are doing our shout-outs. Shout-out section. If you guys have any shout-outs that you would like to have on the show tonight, this is your time. Go ahead and put it in the chat. We will do your shout-outs. I will read them on camera. We will make sure they are part of the show. So please let me know if you have anything to shout out. I know I have shout-outs tonight, as always. And we'll get right into it. So our shout-outs for tonight, we'll start, of course, with my Detroit Lions for becoming 2-0-1 3 weeks into the season and are technically undefeated. To me, that's fantastic. They are getting better, and I love my Lions. So for all of you football fans out there, the Lions are technically undefeated by week 3. Who would have thunk it? All right. Do a quick couple birthday shout-outs. It's birthday shout-out time. So real quick, Renee, who has been on this evening, and one of the major contributors to the Carlock Confessions community, she has a birthday on Thursday, September 26th. Happy birthday to you, Renee, coming up. As well as Jared, you guys who are Carlock Confessions community members consistently and are here every time, know Renee and Jared. Their birthdays are actually on the 26th. So happy birthday, you guys, and thank you so much. I give you guys shout-outs, and thank you so much for being a part of the Carlock Confessions community this week. Happy birthday to you guys. Hope you guys enjoy the week. That's a shout-out for you. Friday is, the 27th is Salam's birthday, so welcome. Happy birthday to you as well. Also want to give a quick shout-out to the new Lothrop Youth football team. That is the team I coach and my son is on. They won last Saturday in a very hard-fought game, 14-0 for their first win of the season. So great to see the boys play hard. So big shout-out to them. And then, of course, as always, I want to give a huge Carlock Confessions shout-out to all of you guys, the audience and the people that come and support this show and support me every single week, to our new viewers, to Diane for being here, to Johanna for being here, for Kyle for being here, all the first-time viewers tonight. I want to shout you out, give you a quick applause, some air horn. Thank you so much. Shout-outs to you guys as well. Let's see if you guys have any shout-outs. Justin weighs out. Shout-out to the Seahawks. Only loss of the season. My second team of all, the Seahawks. Thank you, Justin, for that. And to my brother, John, Peyton is 10 next Tuesday. Thank you, John, for putting that out there. That is my niece, Peyton, will be 10 next Tuesday. That is another live episode of Carlock Confessions. Will come to you next Tuesday, and we will absolutely 100% do another huge shout-out to her next week. Love my niece very much. Happy birthday to her coming up next week. So that's shout outs for the week, guys. If you have any extra shout outs, now's the time to put them in there. But let me know if you guys do. I love the shout outs. This is a great segment that we've added to the show, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. So happy birthday to everybody whose birthday is coming up, and shout outs to our teams, to our kids who in their sports, and of course to you guys as always. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love that you guys give to Car Lot Confessions. I really am blessed because of you. So thank you so much. All right. So with that said, that's shout outs. Pretty good, not too bad. That was pretty decent amount of shout outs this week. I really thought it was pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. Again, continue to add if you have anything. But that, for the most part, is the kind of the show. Let's do a little quick recap while we're all here. Recap of the show for those who might have joined us a little bit late. The poll question of the night last week, we talked about last week's poll question about newspapers. Most of you said no, 77%. 23 said they still do use newspapers. Don't forget about the poll question this week, guys. I think is a good one. Tacos or pizza for your last meal? I'm a taco guy. I actually have a huge feeling that tacos is going to win this time. We had 15 votes last week. I'd like to see if we can get a few more votes this week than that. It's a pretty simple topic to vote on. Takes 2 seconds, guys. If you want to share that poll for me, we can get some more votes on there. Maybe even get some more viewers to the Car Lot Confessions community. Pizza or tacos, though? I'm tacos all the way. Let me know what you guys think. We did Grinds My Gears as well. The Rich Boy Athletes, Antonio Brown and AB and all of that. What's going on? I can't believe that these rich boys are complaining about teams they're on and wanting to be traded and all that kind of stuff. When you make millions of dollars and to play a game that you hopefully clearly love and have passion for, stop your bitching. Grinds my gears. All right. And then, of course, we talked about our cameras and the AI cameras that they're putting up in Australia in regards to catching you while texting and driving. That was a super topic for tonight, and I think it was great. Thank you for all your weighing in, but we definitely, as community members, have to think about that and kind of start being the change on that. I'm 100% guilty of it, and I need to be more conscious. The change starts with me, and I 100% am going to start to commit to that and be the change. Distracted driving is just as bad as drunk driving. The numbers, the facts are there. And so I just want to make sure that we have that out there, and we're starting to make sure that we are being the change. So let me know what you guys think about that. It was a great topic. Thank you so much, guys, for everybody's weighing in on that. And then, of course, we had the question of the night along with that. Our question of the night was, are you guilty of using your cell phone while driving? And would you be okay with them putting in cameras into the United States to monitor us? Would that change your driving habits and texting and driving? Let us know what you think. If you haven't or weren't able to weigh in on the show tonight, please feel free to post it on the Car Lot Confessions site as well. We can always continue the comments and chat there in the conversation. So that was that. We did our shout outs for the night, of course, which was great. We just got done with those. And now here we are at the end of the show, guys. A couple of last housekeeping things. If you guys, again, blood is still needed here in Michigan, still a major shortage, guys. I say this every week. I feel like Bob Barker in regards to telling you to spade and neuter your pets. If you guys can donate blood, please do so. It is one of the easiest and quickest ways to save lives and be helpful and help be the change. So if you have an opportunity to give blood, please do so. And if you do give blood, please let us know here on Car Lot Confessions so we can applaud you, congratulate you, and thank you for doing so. All right. That's pretty much it. That's the show, guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys could go ahead and, again, like and share the page. Let me know what you guys thought of the show tonight. Last few comments. It's time is now. Let me know what you guys think. Justin chimes in. Thanks for another cool show. See you next week. Thank you. See you next week, Justin. Thank you so much for being here. John says pizza. Make sure you put it on the poll, guys. Thank you, John. I'm tacos. That way, that evens things out, I guess. And then Peyton, another shout out. She made Honor Choir. That's a fantastic shout out. Thank you, John, for letting us know that. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Car Lot Confessions is a show for you guys, hosted by me, but really it's about you guys and for us making some changes, positive changes in the world. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all our new viewers tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. And as always, guys, thank you. Please come back. We'll be back live again next Tuesday. Have your notifications turned on so you know when we go live. And we'll have another live show coming at you. So make sure you guys check out the Facebook page. Also check us out on YouTube. And you always can subscribe and see past episodes there as well. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a great show. Happy Tuesday. We'll see you next week. And you guys, as always, remember, be the change. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. Good night, everyone.